What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the show. This week, I'm going to be doing a solo episode for a few reasons. One, with premier guests, if you will, that we do on Tuesdays. And I've said this before on solo episodes, sometimes we stack up and need to do some editing, and interviews aren't as plentiful as when I just interview GoBundance members for Fridays. And in that vein, we've got some really cool episodes coming up. Michael Santos will be coming up. He just got out, well, not just, but some time ago, got out of a 26-year prison sentence for being a drug kingpin, and while in prison built, a sizable portfolio, wrote some books and got his PhD. Amazing story, the real life Scarface with a redemption side to it. So check that out. We've got Scott Savlov, who's got his own podcast with guests like Cedric the Entertainer and Rob Riggles and some amazing guests. And he also runs the Masters. He was a connection I got through another GoBundance member who has a great brand, and I'm excited to have him coming on as well. So those episodes will be coming out. And go back if you haven't and listen to Anthony Trucks and Exhibit and some of these amazing guests that we've had. And every Friday, of course, we've got the member episodes. I would never pick and choose between those folks because they're my brothers and sisters in GoBundance. And, they're all great episodes. So go back and check those out. But I thought the topic today that was relevant as I record this and put it out, it's mid-July, is why now? Why now is the best time to join GoBundance? Or I'll just say to join a mastermind. Of course, if you're listening to this, you're either a member of GoBundance, maybe you're coming up on renewal with GoBundance, or maybe you're a member of Emerge Ascend, or you are thinking about joining one of these programs, depending on which one is most relevant for you. So I wanted to talk about this because it's come up a couple of times for me with different people. And I went to my local chapter meeting yesterday, and it sort of was an aha as to why right now, honestly, is the best time to be a member of this community, or of a mastermind in general. So I'm going to give you three reasons, and I'm going to start with the first one. First one is you need to be surrounded by smart people. And I know that sounds cliche, but that's actually a quote. We are doing a series in the middle of this sort of change in the economy that we're anticipating, a dip, a recession, a correction, whatever you want to call it, where we're calling it navigating choppy waters. Now, GoBundance men, women are all invited to this. It's a kind of a co-ed experience. And for 4 weeks, we brought in different expert speakers, the first of which was one of our founders, David Osborne. And when asked about his preparedness, this guy worth, north of 150 million, call it 200 million, somewhere in that range, right? He's got a significant net worth. He's built a large company. He's doing amazing things. He's on the path to being a billionaire. When asked about the number one thing he's doing to prepare himself, we expected, or at least maybe I did, something to do with access to cash, or something to do with, pruning the hedges or pruning the portfolio and getting rid of bad assets if you can, or whatever, or, sit back and brace for it, something like that. But his first thing was, hey, you got to surround yourself with smart people. That could be content, that could be newsletters that you read from smart people. But really for me, and I remember this when COVID hit, we did the same thing. We went through sort of a navigating the shift series, and the tribe really rallied around the idea that, hey, something's going to happen. We don't know exactly what, but let's talk about the possibilities and what we can do to prepare ourselves for, what could be a great wealth building opportunity. So the first thing is be sure that you're surrounded by smart people. Now, I mentioned that I had my Michigan local chapter meeting, or at least Detroit Metro local chapter meeting yesterday. And what was cool about being there, we were, 15, 16, 17 of us there, was this exact thing, being around smart people. I saw play out to the tune of a couple of guys probably making 100 grand yesterday or more, literally. And what that is this: when you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, an investor, if it's a side hustle or the thing you do all the time, either way, you're in a very unique position compared to the rest of society. So when you're in general with your network talking about sort of things that are coming up and the complexity of what you have going on, whether it's businesses, real estate, or a combination of the two that you own as an entrepreneur or side hustle entrepreneur, as is with everything going down that path, it's hard to relate to your regular network, especially when it comes to what am I not thinking of? What should I be preparing for? And all of that. In fact, you look risky to them, right? The world is saying pull back, and you're thinking, no, I see opportunity here, but you're not surrounded by others that see opportunity. When you get into a room with, 15, 20, 50, 200 if you're at an event, people who are thinking the same way as you, but also are in similar situations to you, you're tapping into not only their genius and their wisdom, but the wisdom of the networks they've created. Each and every one of us have our own support structure, accountants, attorneys, other entrepreneurs, maybe other masterminds we're a part of, and we bring all of that wisdom into a room and share it. And in yesterday's case, there were programs that a couple of guys didn't know about that they would benefit from that will likely give them a six-figure payout. No BS. So surround yourself with smart people. Number one, I could probably stop the podcast right there. That is the reason to be in a mastermind. To that end, we have Emerge and Ascend if you're not at $1 million yet. We have GoBundance if you are at $1 million. We have GoBundance Women for Millionaire Women, right? Go online, go to GoBundance.com, go to GoBundanceEmerge.com, or go to GoBundanceWomens.com and apply. Put your name in there. Talk to somebody in the case of a GoBundance and GoBundance Women's about joining one of those tribes, or with GoBundance Emerge, start with the course. It's 12 weeks. You're going to get access and proximity to millionaires. To every week, you're going to get access and proximity to other like-minded people on the path to becoming millionaires. These programs are designed to be impactful. They're amazing. It's what's changed my life. It's what's allowed me to have the life I have now, which I'm very, very happy about. And I feel so much more prepared for whatever is to come. Good, bad, or otherwise, for me, I feel more prepared for it. So that lets me sleep at night. Be around smart people. Second, in this shift, I mentioned it a moment ago, there's two different mindsets in any change in the economy, right? There's opportunity mindset and there's a scarcity mindset. Our regular networks are in scarcity mindset. These folks have jobs. They're wondering if they're going to have that job. As earnings come back lighter than projected, companies are going to make decisions to likely make sure that their earnings projections aren't too far off as they go forward. They're going to have to adjust them, and they're going to have to trim expenses. And often that means staff, which is very sad. But for those of us who have friends that are in jobs and everything else, that could be a scary proposition. So they're going to withdraw. They're going to brace, hope, pray that they can keep their job and stay through in many industries. Some industries are more recession proof, but that's kind of the general gist of it. In the world of entrepreneurship, though, and in the world of being somebody who's looking to grow, every GoBundance member is looking at this at every level, is looking at this as, and this is my chance to go from getting rich to getting wealthy. That was a quote yesterday in our chapter meeting, which I thought was really great. We all get rich in an up environment, but we get wealthy in a down. So this is where you want to be around people who are opportunity focused. Talking to some of the guys yesterday, they're doubling and tripling their marketing budget. They're meeting with competitors with the possibility of buying them out. There's things that people are happening. For me, I'm sort of pruning the hedges of my portfolio, getting rid of stuff. This was, again, David Osborne advice that I can get a decent price for, and I don't want anymore. It just doesn't serve me anymore based on where I'm going, what my lifestyle is. I'm moving to the Dominican, which many of you know. So all of this for me is what I'm doing. And then just making sure I have enough cash. I'm keeping more things liquid. I've got my lines of credit ready. I may extend them if the interest rates creep up again, just so I have them and the banks don't pull them back. All of that is the things I'm doing to prepare for what it might be. But I'm doing that with the idea that I can buy, I can acquire, I can grow, hopefully, as we go through whatever it might be. And I wouldn't think that way if not for being in this room. $10,000 well spent for me every year. So that's number two, is be around people that are opportunity focused versus scarcity focused. And our regular network, I don't mean this in a blaming way, but our regular network is typically scarcity focused. Most of the world is, and it's understandable. Watch the news for 5 minutes and it scares the hell out of me. I'm sure it scares the hell out of a lot of people, especially if they're not exposed to this podcast or the community that this podcast represents. All of the GoBundance communities that we have. And the third thing is that I think we have to remember that investment in this time, as we go into a recession, investment in ourselves returns the greatest holistic ROI. So that's what I'm calling the third bullet. Investment in ourselves returns the greatest holistic ROI. Money's great. Money helps us do the things we want to do. It's the measuring stick by which we track progress in whatever endeavor that we're going through. But when you're in GoBundance, Emerge, Ascend, GoBundance Women, any of them, it's not just about, as we go through this, okay, am I financially going to be able to stabilize myself or be viable or grow? But it's even more so about, all right, well, what about my mental health? What about my relational health, my family health? Am I getting overly focused in one area around the money to make sure I protect that and disregarding my family, my wife, my kids, my husband, my extended family, whatever it might be? So the idea of investing money in a mastermind allows you, yes, to learn skills and tactics and bring in the collective genius of people and their networks financially to help you grow. But in addition to that, you're also going to have people that are watching out for you because they understand the lot in life that you are, where you're going, the direction that you're going in your life, right? Entrepreneurship and trying to grow something, even if you have a W-2 and you're growing it on the side, is just different than the rest of the world. Doesn't make it better or worse, just different. So being around other people who understand that push, who understand the factors that may create challenges, allows them to check in on all the other aspects of your life. So it creates the greatest return on holistic ROI. You'll make money by being around people who know how to make money. That's the easy part. In fact, if you ask most GoBundance people, they would say that. The money part, actually, that's the easy part. That's like the last conversation because everybody knows how to do that, for the most part. But the other stuff, how am I showing up as a father or a mother? How am I showing up as a husband or a wife? How am I showing up for myself in my health? How am I showing up for myself with being accountable to what I said I wanted to accomplish? How am I making sure that I'm staying on track with all of my goals, not just my financial goals? That holistic ROI is there by investing in you. So 3 reasons why I really do. And I go back to navigating the shift with COVID. That was the most valuable time. When everything is up and to the right, you go into a mastermind and throw an idea out there. It's like, yeah, crypto, go for it, right? Like all of it is going to work. So it's easy. And so, we put the money in to invest in ourselves because the money is plentiful. Now we feel like, oh, the money may not be as plentiful, so I got to hold it when, man, I gladly paid my year 4 tuition not that long ago, and I gladly go to the events, the in-person events. I'll be in Detroit in next week, actually, right after the release of this recording for this event, and then I'll be in Dallas for the event in October. I'm going to these events because by getting around this stuff, it keeps me up. It keeps me, mentally sort of ready. It keeps me reminded about what's important to me. It is the absolute best investment in me. And when things are going maybe not as great in the economy, in the world, Ukraine, all these crazy things that are happening more than ever, this is where I need these guys. This is where I need this community. This is where I need to keep my sanity by being around these folks. This is why I wanted to put out this video, this content. I gave the reason of, hey, we're stacking up recordings, but I really wanted to talk about this at some point. And I was kind of glad, like, we could shove an episode in next week, but now let's do this. I want to do this and talk about these variables. And look, is it marketing? Hell yeah, of course it is. But it's something I evangelize because I believe in this. I truly believe in everything about it, to the point where I created Emerge and Ascend, right? I believe so much in the power of proximity and community that I created a community because I think it serves those folks. I know it serves those folks to be around like-minded people that will help keep them in the direction they want to go in all aspects of life, and kind of avoid that lone wolf syndrome that many of us feel in our current networks. So with all of that said, I gave you the websites. Go to GoBundance.com, GoBundanceEmerge.com, go to GoBundanceWomens.com, apply or sign up, jump in. You can DM me, follow me at the Jamie Gruber on Instagram or TikTok. DM me. If you have questions about Emerge, happy to answer them. If you have questions about GoBundance, happy to answer them. Whatever you need, send me any questions that you have, and I'd be happy to engage with you. And I hope this helps in understanding why exactly this thing is a valuable thing to invest in for you, and what the value of it has been for me. And why I think this is the greatest thing you can possibly do for yourself as we go forward. So with that said, we'll see you on the next episode. Be sure to like and subscribe. And I would really appreciate a rating review, especially on iTunes or Spotify. It helps us grow the podcast. And many of you have reached out very kindly and said, man, I love the show. It's gotten so good. And man, I feel the same way. This is my passion. Pay me $100 million a day. I stopped doing everything but podcasting. I love this medium. And if it helps you and you're getting value out of it, take 2 minutes for me. Jump onto iTunes or Apple Podcasts, jump onto Spotify, drop a rating, drop a review for me. I truly appreciate you doing that. Until next time, I'll see you. Thank you.